Hello, Spiritual Collective. Excuse me. So I was drawn to do a reading concerning the pursuits that we have, the projects that we have, the things that we've started or finishing, what we need to do to drive ourselves forward. So if we find ourselves looking at things that we've done, that we've accomplished, the seeds we've planted, if we find ourselves in this situation, this way of being, I also have the Queen of Swords here. And so these may be intellectual pursuits. These also may be the lighting here. These also may be just philosophies that we have. And there is a sense of guarding too. There's a sense of like gatekeeping the things that we have done to keep them safe, which is always necessary, especially in the beginning, especially when you are still looking to see how these are going to grow and you're watching their growth. You don't want to be someone that's oversharing your projects. You just want to be someone who tends them, but you want to also have strong boundaries when it comes to that, at least also at this time, right, for your project. But I'm getting a need to obviously focus our intent on these projects and to figure out the best way, the Magician, to make sure that we are actually doing everything we can to bring these projects, these ideas that we have as the Queen of Swords into the physical world, to not be stuck, to not just be in that mode of ideas and to actually bring them into being. Okay? So we need to do that. We need to make sure that we're using all the tools available to us to make sure that we're driving ourselves forward and that we're actually producing in the material world again, and not just being stuck in the world of ideas forever and ever. Okay. The Chariot. Get moving. Get moving. Don't become stagnant. Don't let these things just pile up and not be brought into being and not being pushed forward. This needs movement. This needs forcible movement. This needs to be pushed forward. Your projects need to have more movement behind them. They need to be more force, more movement, more being. And I also had the King of Swords. Oh my gosh, these cards are falling. Okay. This really wants to talk. These cards really want to talk. These cards really like to move. Okay. The King of Swords as well. So here we go. Super intellectual pursuits. Super philosophical with your voice, with your words, your writing, but also principles, philosophies. This is something that you've been working on for a while that needs to really be coming into fruition here. And I also got the Four of Swords and the Six of Wands that came out with the King of Swords as well. These came together right after the King of Swords. So we have the Four of Wands, which is rest. So you're also going to have to balance this movement with rest, but you don't want to stay too stagnant too long. You do want mental rest. Clarity comes with mental rest, okay? There's mental movement and focus, but there's also a quietness to the mind when you're focused, not wandering on other things, okay? So balancing this out with some kind of meditation and rest for the mind will only bring in success. Success is coming after this application. So all is good and will bring fruitful rewards as long as a movement is obtained in bringing these to action. Don't stay stagnant. And getting really don't stay stagnant. That's the thing. Sometimes when you want to do a project or you have a partial project, you may have stopped the project, began something else, which is still another one of your projects, especially if you're a person who has multiple projects in the works. Creatives, you know. This is just be like, okay, focus on those. Focus on those again. Bring those into being. Maybe the time that you've taken, this mental rest, will actually bring more clarity into your, maybe you needed this. Of course, you don't want to become too stagnant, but you may have needed a little bit of a rest to bring in that little pause in your project to bring in more clarity of what the project needed. It needed something else. It needed you to be a different person. It needed you to go through some things, to grow in some way, to bring it through into your projects to become what it needs to become now. It was missing something. You weren't quite there yet. But now you have new eyes. You've been through a lot of different new things. So now you can bring that into your project. And it will become more infused with spirit than ever before. Cycles. Okay, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Cycles with your projects. These projects have gone through many cycles. And they keep going through cycles. I know personally this is very right on with me. And any creative that's really creative, you have multiple projects, multiple cycles, you'll revisit something over and over and over again, perfecting it each time. And this is what's happening again, but you need to get this movement going. So if you put something down, it's time that you pick that thing back up again and look at it from a different way, baby steps, just get it started. Just get it done. Like, get it started. It's already started, but you know, get that next cycle started to where you can really fill in what you need to fill in, because that's so important right now to make sure that we are bringing our ideas and our projects into fruition. They need to be seen. And even if you don't get instant success right away, and I know that's hard when you have something and you brought it into the world and it takes forever or it just stagnates, it's hurtful. And you may bring this into your next project, but don't. Focus, okay? Focus. Cycles and focus. Okay, King of Swords, Queen of Swords. You know, all these focus cards, like mental cards, focus. You see that? Really aiming in on what you need to fix, what you need to do. It needs to happen, and it needs to happen with a swiftness, like an arrow from the bow. It needs to get going, okay? Yeah. This message was really needed. It's very important that people, creatives, hear this. Confidence. Oh my God. Oh my God. Confidence. Yes. Being confident in what you're creating, not letting you get down on yourself because, oh, it's not good enough. Oh, didn't succeed. I didn't get famous the first time I did this. It didn't quite happen the way I thought it should happen. But the universe has your back. And what I'm mean by that is, you know, you might not be the most famous person in the world. You might not get accolades for your achievements, and that happens a lot. You might have really good things that no one really seems to see, but the universe sees, and you may be rewarded in a different way than what you'd expect. And so when you put that energy out, you may get it returned to you in a different form that's also rewarding. And that's important to hear. It's really important to have confidence in yourself and know that even though other people may not see it right away, or it might not get what you want, the attention that you felt it should receive, that it's still good, and that it's still something that you've created, and it's still your energy that you're putting out into the world, and that you will get back in some way, just maybe not the way that you see right away. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, it's not easy sometimes being creative, okay? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, release the dark wound. Let love live. This is the dark wound that you have surrounding your previous creative endeavors. This is something that you spent a lot of time on that maybe didn't get all the attention or the accolades, or like, even just like, even that you felt reciprocal anything. Like, it didn't feel like it brought equal, right? I'm trying to put the words here. It just didn't feel like it and you felt at a loss, and it hurt, and you just gave up, and you're like, what the hell? You didn't give up, because if you're creative, you put it on the back burner, but you're still working on it. But you didn't put as much oomph in it, because that hurt, that wound around the original project, around your manifestation, your creative child was rejected in some way, or you felt it was rejected in some way. Maybe you didn't give it enough time. Maybe you just gave up too easy. Whatever it is, this right here is affecting your progress. This dark wound. Again, we need confidence, okay, to deal with this dark wound. Focus and cycles. Another cycle. But again, addressing this wound, knowing where it came from, what it is, why it's still with you, why it's affecting your work. You need to look at it in a different way, in a different view. Okay? But that's what's holding you back. Okay? After the storm, after everything that's happened, after all you've been through, after the initial receivement of your projects that you've done, the work that you've done, the skills that you've had that you feel maybe be wasted, but why bother because of the initial dark wound. After the storm, okay? This is something that will be given a gift, something that's like from the universe, some kind of, you release this and you gain something. You release the dark wound and you gain something after this storm, after this hardship, after this upheaval. You will gain something. Something is coming to you in some way. And you know, that's important to hear, because a lot of the time we're just like, why bother? You know, I put all this time in. You know, I got stuff to do. I got this job. I have to be there. I'm drained constantly. You know, I have whatever energy I have to put into this thing. But at the same time, this thing's important to you. Okay? Your creativity, like a job will be there. Don't lose your job, but don't put too much of yourself into a job. Okay? All right, unless you really love your job, which most people usually don't put too much of yourself into it. Put yourself into what you want to create into the world. And let that be your focus. Like, you know, don't let the draining and the negativity of others get into you. And that's another thing of the Queen of Swords was gatekeeping. She's like, you ain't... See? Like, there's like a block. Like, coming this way, she's blocking you. You ain't even gonna get near this. And you have to be that way sometimes. Especially when it comes to your creative projects, is people like to tear other people down. Especially creative people. People feel entitled to creative people. Creative people and spiritual people. And if you're a creative spiritual person, oh boy, the entitlement is heavy. With people wanting access to your services. Oh, just free, me. I had someone like I worked with that was rude to me many times, wanting me to make her necklaces and shit. And I'm like, didn't say anything, but I'm like, I didn't offer that. You're offering my services? Are you gonna pay me? Like, oh, make me a necklace. I'm like, do you know, like, what goes into some of this stuff? Like, I'm not here just to make free shit for everybody, okay? You know, and then to be rude to me on many occasions on top of that? Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, people are like that. People are like that. That's why you need to be strong. That's why you need to be like, you ain't getting anywhere close to my pentacles. Okay, my pentacles are mine. You need to get stepping and find your own thing, especially if you're gonna kind of come at me rude and sideways, right? That's how you have to be. This was a very important reading. A lot of, I feel like there's quite a bit of people that needed to hear this. Again, this is a timeless message, so whenever you're hearing this is when it's meant for you. Also, too, if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, this message isn't for you. There may be another one that is, but this one is not. Ooh, the charms of Ishtar. Interesting. Okay. So that's how we're closing the reading out, with the charms of Ishtar. Very sensual, very seductive, charming. Bring this air into your projects. Fall in love. Enjoy the sensuality of your, whatever your project may be. Even if you feel it's not that kind of project, I'm sure you can find a way. There's something sensual about it. There's some kind of desire and passion also that you're bringing into this. Romanticize it. Fall in love with your projects. Okay? This is important. And that's how we close this reading. Many blessings to all, and until next time, we'll see.